A VSL is just a video that sells your offer, right? So essentially people use it because it's much more effective, people seeing a face to an offer than just writing about why an offer is good. It's better you saying it, right? So that's why super important to get it right. And a VSL on its own doesn't make money, and a funnel without a proper VSL doesn't either. It's the combination of them both that almost nobody knows how to do properly. In this video, I'm showing you top to bottom how to create a highly converting VSL, and I'm going to show you how to build it into a funnel that actually works. So by the end of this video, you have a fully formed VSL and you have a page which showcases everything, okay? So we're doing it top to bottom. I've already spent hundreds of hours studying frameworks from Hamosi and other top marketers, so you don't have to waste months or hundreds of hours researching the internet. Just watch this video and you'll be set. So don't skip this video, okay? All right, enough yapping. Let me get right into it now. So let's go. All right, so this PowerPoint is insane. So this is the killer VSL blueprint. Okay, so let's get right into it. All right, just a heads up, the next few slides you may think, why are they so basic? Like, why is he talking about a hook? I already know this. I obviously need to start with a foundation. It's gonna get very like genius advanced later on, so just stick through it, okay? It's only like 1 or 2 slides as well, so I'm just letting you know, little preface right there. Okay, so let's get into it. That's a little skeleton right there. So this is a quote from Hamosi, right? 80% of your VSL is decided by 3 things: hook, the FAQs, and the proof. Get those right and the rest is detail. So first thing, before we even record or do anything, select which of these 4 your audience fits into. All right, so your hook is written differently depending on who's watching. So you need to think in your head, who are your target audience? Do they know who you are or do they not know who you are? So are they unaware? Like, are they cold? They don't know they have a problem yet. Create the problem before offering the solution. Here's an example right here. Right, so do they know they have a problem? Are you trying to sell something where they don't know their problem? Are they cold, completely cold? Or are they semi-cold? Like, are they problem aware? They know they have a problem but not a solution. Name their exact pain and offer hope. Or are they warm? Like, are they solution aware? They know solution exists, show them why yours win. Or are they hyper warm? They're product aware. They know you exist. Yeah, they already know you. Overcome objections and give a reason to act now. You pick which one of these your clients fit into, and you want to make sure your VSL script follows the same flow. So if they're unaware, you want to go with the flow of them knowing they're unaware. Like, you know that they're unaware, you know they're product aware, etc. Okay? A hook written for cold traffic shown to warm traffic leaves money on the table and vice versa. So that's why I started off with that, because it's quite important, right? You can see from this, the hook. Okay, so this is how we're going to start the VSL. Stop the scroll in the first 10 seconds. Now, it's not really a scroll, they're watching a VSL, right? But you still want to niche call them out. So niche call out, call them specifically. So these are just different ways to do it. So niche call out, name them specifically, not entrepreneurs but influencers with under 10k followers. Call your ideal customer out. The more specific the call out, the more they feel personally seen. Imagine you own gyms in Manchester. Imagine you start your VSL with gym owners in Manchester. Like, what the hell? You're like, speaking to me personally, what the hell? I'm just saying, like, that's how powerful it can be for a niche call out. Next, pain point. Speak the exact words they say in their heads at 2 a.m. Not your vision of their pain, but their vision. Okay? Then dream outcome. State the result before explaining anything. Give them a reason to watch the next 8 minutes or 3-4 minutes. Nobody buys from someone that they don't feel understands them, okay? The hook is proof you get it before you've said anything, all right? So they know, oh, cool, this is the right guy to listen to, right? He has my solutions. Okay, we're getting into more high level things. Epiphany bridge. So this is your story, okay? You're not selling a program, you're taking them on your journey. So you want to start after your hook with your story, your epiphany, okay? So, because the reason you're selling a product or service, you've gone through something to learn a skill, or something in life has happened for you to want to sell this product. This is where you tell your story, okay? So backstory, where you started, broke, stuck, confused. The worse starting point, the more credible the outcome. The change, introduce the mechanism here casually, just purely like planting the seed, right? Planting the seed, like coaching, this method, your system works. We're not mentioning the offer yet. Then the obstacle, because remember, you don't want to just have a story when your thing just went like this and it was all good. You need that boop, oh my god, I broke my mic, like that, right? Because even like if you think about superhero films, why they're so good, because they get the powers, then something really bad happens, Uncle Ben dies, boom, we're back up, right? So you need the obstacle. That's how people relate to you. That's how people love superheroes, because they relate to them, like the stories and that kind of thing. No one relates to someone that always wins. No one likes people that always win. They want to have someone that they can relate to, like on the journey. That's what people like certain boxes and things. Anyways, the outcome, be specific, real numbers, time matters, is 0 to 10k in 3 months, is infinitely stronger than great result, okay? So what result did you get that made you so good at selling this or the product or whatever, right? Then repay the favor. Then you want to paint it like you're repaying the favor. So I want to give you what my mentor gave me or whatever, right? Whatever your source is. This transition that makes the offer feel like a gift and not a pitch. You're not convincing them that your offer is good. You're letting them convince themselves by living through your story. So like the superhero model. You want them to kind of live through your story. And the more you relate to them, the better, I promise. Alright, the MVO, minimal viable offer, right? Let me switch to blue. I said the whole premise of an MVO, and minimal viable offer, is that you're not selling here. You're not trying to give details. You know, like a little jab in and out kind of thing. So plant the seed. That's probably a better way to say it. Don't sell yet. One casual sentence that introduces what you do. No price, no features, no pitch. Just enough to make them aware that something exists, right? Before you go into proof of FAQs. So like too much is trying to sell them immediately. Remember that, I mean, I'm quite a few slides in. That's why this video is a bit long. But when you're actually recording it, we're probably like 35 seconds in. So you're not trying to sell at this point. You just want to throw in a little minimal viable offer, right? So you don't want to be chucking in costs. You don't want to chucking in, oh, we do calls templates. You just want to give them a little touch, a little hint of the source that you have, right? And one tip Hamosi says is to use analogs. So if you're trying to explain a complex situation, use analogs. Instead of explaining how your thing works, give them a picture. People relate to pictures more than you just saying, oh, we do this, that, this, that. So imagine you have a marketing company and you want to sell ads to people. You can say it's kind of like having a billboard, except instead of showing it to every car, you choose exactly which windshields it appears on. Do you know what I mean? Like analogs make abstract offers feel real without requiring technical explanation. So this is why we're doing the MVO. If you pitch too early, you have nothing to believe in yet. The MVO keeps the door open while you build the case. While building the case, but the MVO keeps that door open. Okay, now the next one is one of my personal favorites, soft loops. All right. Sounds mad weird, but it works. The genius psychology of a soft loop is that you want them keep mentally nodding yes before you're going to ask for the offer. Before you ask, like, do you want to pay whatever, right? The way this works is that you want to, throughout the VSL, you want to be asking questions where in their head they're like, yeah. So when it's time for them to buy, they're in such a habit of saying yes, boom, they're in a mentality of saying yes, so you're going to get the deal, right? By the time you reach the call to action, basically your big sell part, they've said yes in the head like 8 times already. Saying no at the end feels wrong. So it's a bit of like a dark psychology right here. So after the MVO, just all the way throughout, you want to be asking questions for them to say yes. So questions like, if you could even get half of that, will that change things for you? Well, obviously the answer to that will be yes. In what situation would the answer be no, right? So yes. Scatter these throughout the VSL. And the reason we're doing that is because closing isn't something you do at the end of a VSL. It's something you do every 2 minutes throughout it. Okay. Alright, cool. Now the price anchor and damaging omissions. Obviously, before you say your price and everything, you always want a price anchor. Now, what does price anchor mean? So I think I should use an analog, right? So imagine you will go into a burger restaurant and you look at the menu and then you look and be like, what the hell? That burger is £69. That is so expensive. I'm used to burgers being £2-3. So you're like, that's anchored in your head, that's £69. But then you look over the menu and then there's burgers. The rest of the burgers are like £25. You're like, you know what? That's actually a steal. Why is that? Because that high number is anchored and you're like, these guys sell £69 burgers. Those 25 ones are steals. But in reality, £25 for burgers is insane, right? It should be like £5-6. That's the beauty of price anchoring. Makes whatever price you decide to charge look like a steal. So you always want to do it. So this is what we're going to do it. Make it a steal, even then earn their trust. So you want to price anchor here and say compared. So there are people teaching this exact stuff for 10,000, 20,000, and honestly, it's worth it at the price if it delivers, right? So 10,000, you point that number in their head, right? So when you say your number, it looks so. Next is another beautiful strat. I put 2 in one slide because why not? Damaging omissions. So just human psychology. If you omit a flaw about your own product, right? People trust you 100 million times over. It's literally an insane strat, because imagine you're trying to sell someone, but they're kind of saying a flaw, but then they add the word but and then twist it to something positive. So this is the way it works. You say something negative about your own product or whatever, say but, then add a positive. How it works is that I'm not the cheapest option out there, negative, but the people who invest here are serious, and that changes the room you're in, whatever. This isn't for everyone, which is negative, but we're switching to positive. If you're willing to do the work, nothing else gives you this for this price. I'm not the guru with millions of followers, but I built this from zero, which means I know every obstacle you're about to face. Okay? So a negative, but positive. Skepticism, I believe I'm saying that right, is the default. Admitting a weakness is the fastest way to make sure everything else you say sounds like the truth. Okay? That's why we're trying to earn their trust. Okay, so now you're giving your Grand Slam offer now. So this is where you're gonna give away and show them your Grand Slam offer. This is a happy moment. Okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about with Grand Slam offer, if you watched my previous video, I made a video on offers, similar format like presentation style. Watch that video first. Because I'm not going to cover it now, because I literally just recorded me covering it. Okay, so watch that if you don't know what I'm talking about. But you want to add a Grand Slam offer, a product so good or service that people feel stupid saying no, right? That this is where you basically show them everything they can get, everything you got. You've built the belief, you've anchored the price, now you reveal the full offer, piece by piece. Each component gets named, benefit stated, and priced. By the time you're done stocking, the total perceived value should be 5 to 10x your actual price. Now, I'm not going to go through this because I've made a video. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're confused, like why is he skipping over the main part where we give our offer, I've made an entire video because it's that important. It's that important. I've made a video on it. Okay, so watch that. People don't buy the price, they buy the gap between what they're paying and what they're getting. Okay, so that's why you need to make the perceived value sky high. Okay, so after now you've given away your offer, like, you mean not given away, I mean you've presented your offer, you want to back it up with stats. Now this is where it's beautiful, because you can become not arrogant. I mean, why not? You can become a little arrogant in this section. You can just, because the reason you can get arrogant is because no one can like prove you otherwise, because you're going to be now saying statistics that back up your offer or service, right? So state the truth, tell them facts. After your proof stories, pivot with and why I'm so confident this works, then drop stat after stat. This turns belief into certainty. Numbers make claims feel scientific and not salesy. Just imagine you just giving them the Grand Slam offer and then you're hitting them with stat after stat after stat. They're like, what the hell? Like, how can I try to disprove this guy or think this is a scam or whatever, when he's done everything what I've talked about at the beginning of this presentation. Give me the most insane offer and has just shot me down with the most insane statistics of all time, right? Super leverageable. Use this, please. When you say it works, you sound like a salesman. When the numbers say it works, you sound like a scientist. Be like a scientist, right? So that's what, let me just draw myself being a mad scientist here. Now is the price reveal. So remember, earlier we did the whole price anchoring thing. We've told our offer, like what you get in the offer, etc. Boom! We've done statistics. Their confidence is sky high with you. Now it's the price reveal, right? Alright, say the number, then be quiet. So this is one thing I see people do wrong, is that they say the number of their service or product. They're kind of nervous of saying that number. Who buys from someone who's nervous about saying the price of their own service or product? Like, just think to yourself, no one, right? So you need to be confident. I mean, if you watch my other video, I've told you, make sure it's a high number. You don't want to compete on price. You want to compete on value. So if you compete on price, right? Here's your competitor. Here's you. So you try compete on price here. Your competitor sees that, oh crap, now I need to compete on price. It's a race to the bottom where you make basically no profit. You don't want to compete on price, right? So say the number and be quiet. Most people rush to the price as if they're embarrassed by it. Don't. You've earned the right to say it. State the anchor, step down dramatically, land your price with conviction, then stop talking. The way you say the price is the price. Confidence in the number tells them it's worth it before logic kicks in. That's why you need to be confident when you're saying these kind of things. Don't just be quivering. Look in the camera, not in the eye, but look in the camera and say it. Okay, now this is one of my favorite. I think this is my favorite part to add after the price, because if there is a slither of doubt now after saying the price, because we've done a good job so far, this like demolishes any point of like, oh, is this good or not? Watch. Make saying no the irrational choice. Now just imagine, right? If we're gonna say, like, you need to say this after you say the price. You go over what the worst case scenario and best case scenario. But then when you say the worst case scenario, it sounds like a positive. Like, it doesn't even sound bad. Like, look at this, right? So you're gonna say after this price, worst case, you get access to every template, every tool, every system I built. Try it for free, and if it doesn't click, you get every penny back. You whack in your guarantee. You walk away having seen how a full monetized system is built, and you keep the knowledge forever. So like, and then it goes to someone's head like, okay, if I sign up, if I pay for this, worst case scenario, there's this guarantee in place. I'm gonna gain knowledge. I'm gonna get better. That's worst case. And then you say best case, just add in the dream outcome. Boom! W. Add a thumbs up to this video. Comment water bottle if you want a part 2 to this video, because there's a few things I left out as like bonuses for my affiliates. But if enough people say water bottle, I will make it, because I don't know whoever's watching to this point. It's been a long recording. So these are the different types of guarantees I mentioned in my offer video, so watch that. When the worst case is still a good outcome, saying no stops making sense. Alright, now we're going even crazier. Gotta get the guns out for this one. Alright, scarcity plus next steps. Okay, so now we're gonna try force the decision. Sell the vacation. You can choose one of these things. So scarcity, it must be real. Okay, please get this in. If you want to, you can decide to do this or not. Okay, scarcity must be real. Like, if you say there's 10 spots, there's 10 spots, and like anyone that comes after, you have to say no to, because the worst thing you can do is exchange your credibility for a bit of money. Don't do that. Okay, fake scarcity destroys trust permanently. Use real constraints, limited one-on-one spots, because that's all you can genuinely serve. A price that actually happens, bonuses that genuinely expire. Okay, I would recommend doing this, but be real with it. Okay, now the last thing is you want to do FAQs and proof. So this is like commonly asked questions, so people may have concerns or anything like that. This is where you want to just destroy one concern after another, after another, after another. Okay, so this is right at the end of the VSL. You want to add an FAQ section. So address every elephant in the room. So this is in the concern section, but concerns are different from FAQs. FAQs are general questions. Concerns are specific emotional blockers that are, that are still sitting in their head after everything you've said. Name them out loud and watch resistance dissolve. So one concern can be, I brought courses before, have a response in place. I don't have enough time, have a response in place. Just name the concerns out loud and have a response in place. A sale doesn't break at the close. It breaks at the unspoken doubt you never addressed. Okay, so the FAQ section, same thing. Just basically state their questions out loud and just answer them. Okay, people don't buy when they understand. They buy when they believe. Proof is the only thing that creates belief. So that's the VSL structure right there. Okay, so now for the second part of this video. By now, I hope that you've got your VSL, and I'm going to show you how to put it in a funnel and how to actually benefit from having a VSL. So by now, you should have your script, maybe recorded it, etc. So let's go now into how to put it to use, put in a funnel and everything like that. So the best place to do this is to use a software called Go Highlevel. And instead of a 14-day free trial, if you use my link first in the description, you can get a 30-day free trial with the software plus all the benefits here. So be sure to do that. This software will let you build funnels, automations, websites, process payments, add your product, do a whole bunch of things, everything you need for backend system, right? So once you use that link and sign up for Highlevel, not only will you get the one-on-one support and all my templates, snapshots and everything, right? But you'll see this interface. Let's get into it now. All right, so once you are logged in, you'll be in the agency view, right? So you'll be, like the first tab you'll see will be this view. Or if not, just press click here to switch and press, it will say go back to agency view if you're in a sub account. Two different views, sub account, agency. Now, one thing to just make clear, watch this video here. I've made a 6.5 hour video explaining a complete tutorial of this software from zero to the end. Watch that video, it's on my channel. I'll link it down below as well, but watch that, right? And of course, if you use my link, you can just message me personally. I'll get back to you one-on-one, so don't have to worry about anything. Also, and one perk is that if you join with my link, I'll give you templates. So I'll show you. For example, you can get this funnel right here done for you, and it looks pretty cool. And this is where we can add our VSL. Okay, so logo, and this is where we can add our video. But I'm going to assume obviously that you're from scratch. So let's create your sub account. press create sub account on the right, and then you can start from blank, or if you've got my snapshots, you can just press import snapshots and import mine. But let's just go for blank just cause. And then press add manually, and then fill this out with your information. And then you'll be in a tab like this where you got sites, automation, marketing, etc. Be sure, this is going to be very confusing. The software is very confusing first time around. Be sure to watch my 6.5 hour video. I'll link it down below, right? So let's go to the sites tab, and I just added some of my things here, but yours are going to be blank. So you want to go to new funnel and just choose from a template. Over 1,000 templates, so I'm sure you find one that fits you. So this one, video producer, it doesn't have to be your exact niche. You just want to look how the feel. This looks pretty fine. Let's add this in. Okay, so it's now loading in, right? So this template is a lot done for us. So this is where we're gonna add our video. So the VSL that we just went through, you're gonna add it in here, right? So this is how simple it can be. Just click it, and we want to change video, and then upload your VSL here, and just double click it like that. And you can go on Canva, make a thumbnail, and like change it maybe. So yeah, cool. And then we could come here, put our logo in. So we just put like this, your logo, and then claim your offer here, and then have a video of you there, and then just go on ChatGPT and just copy some website copy that you can put in. Tell ChatGPT what you want. Have a good title, put it in there. Let's just quickly view this. Boom! Cool. And you can apply some cool settings to the VSL. So if we just click it, we can loop the VSL, allow play and pause, allow playback. You can just so many different settings we can add in, and you always want to save and publish. Now, understanding funnels, like you may want to add a page, delete a page, you may want to change things around, right? That's why if you need to watch this video, the 6-hour one, to get a complete understanding of the software. If you already know software, perfect. This is how you're going to do it. Add your domain, just press connect domain. You can go ahead, connect your domain to this, and that funnel will be live with your VSL. Any problems, if you join with my link anyway, you can just contact me personally and we'll get everything brushed over and sorted, right? So I hope this video was super useful. I've showed you the best way to create a VSL and how to put it in, right? So we're kind of combining with the 6-hour one if you're fresh, but people who know the way around the software, that's the way you want to do it, right? So super simple. And yeah, hope this video was useful. Comment objections if you want me to make a video of common sales objections that clients normally face to you, and the best ways to respond back to it. Comment objections if you want that. If enough people say it, I don't know if enough people are watching to the end, but if enough people are saying it, I will make a video on common objections for sales calls. Okay, please like the video, subscribe and all that, whatever stuff. But yeah, thank you. Bye bye.